Hey everyone, let's get into it. We've got the 2017 number 1 out of 5 albums for that year. Patrick was 11 this year and 9 at his birthday, so that's how I easily can detect what album I'm looking for. I'm just going to get in. So I made a title page for this one. This one was just a whole pile of mixed media. I want to open it, but I'm a bit afraid. Oh no, it's going to be alright. So I've made a whole textured background and then added all these cut apart words and this big chevron piece from pattern paper with the thickers. So that's that one, and then you turn it over and we go to 2 layouts. So this one I used some lovely spray mist and lots of chunky embellishments. It's one of my first ones that I used all the chunky embellishments on. This one here is a postcard. Just slipped it into a page protector. This is why we're on holidays. So we have this one here. It's got the big long title with the thickers and then quite a few layers, using up one of the kits. Another one using up some leftover papers from the kits, and this was fussy cut from paper, using some branding strips down there. Brandy. Not talking about alcohol. So we go into our first Project Life page, the tickets from the raceway. And then over the page, this one's actually one of those panoramic ones where you can flip it up. And this I just printed from the website. So just some simple Project Life. I've got this little insert, 6x12 insert. And again on the background, some mixed media backgrounds using those ink splatters. Just some random photos on our holiday. This one here was using up the last of a kit, a hip kit with all the frames. So just have the frames in the background. This one here I used a map from one of the magazines that you get at the hotels, and it was about our trip out that day. So we went to the Maritime Museum, South Bank Science Centre and the Queensland Museum. Some of our tickets, they were the train tickets, and here I wrote a little itinerary. Another 12x12 layout. This one I just kept all these kind of nature photos and made it a grid, but kept it in line with the card stock there, roughed up the edges. Moving on, a little photo here, all just in this strip here. A mixed media one, so I added the blue paint over this floral page, added the thickers next to the photo, just a little bit of embellishment, not too much. Moving on, I did that one with a Kaisercraft collection. Can't think of what it is. I was looking at it and anyway, it's pretty obvious it was some kind of paradisey hibiscus Hawaiian kind of thing. I just cut the pattern paper back on those edges and just used a whole pile of those embellishment pieces. Some more Project Life, so you can see I work with Project Life and traditional all in one. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. One album. That way I can just keep things together and I can do whatever I want with whatever photo is coming up in the order. So I've got some ephemera pieces, the Maritime Museum flyer, so this was a story about the ship. This was the insides of the ships, and I just have that folded like that because if you fold it in you'd have to punch the shapes. The museum one, and that can be folded if you open it. Another Maritime flyer. This one's about the river. And then we go into another Project Life page. So you can see this is chock-a-block full of goodness. I've added some sequins that we must have got in the kit. Just lots of moments. These are stickers from one of the books and the tickets here. Just little embellishments. You can see the sequin pocket on this side. And then more photos and embellishments. I love to put lots of stuff on my Project Life. Not so that it's overwhelming, but just so that there's some prettiness to look at. And it tells the story. There's one of these, I mixed media on top and then you wipe off so that you can see these words. Some of the tickets. Love these stickers, little puffy alphas. So going on, we have this mixed media 12 by 12 and it's nice and black, gold and blue, and the thickers fit in there so well. I put this little silver textured piece on there. Sorry, they're in page protected, so I'm trying my best. Hopefully it's all right from what you can see. Another 12 by 12. This one I just used some edges of paper, added some up the top there. Little paper clip and a tag and a lovely big title. Some of the page protectors are ripped at the top. This one's a fun bright summer layout. So Project Life spread. And continuing that on the back. I love these bright summer collections. I really have too many of them. And this was really cute. So we've seen some jellyfish from the pier. So I found the sticker and then some alphas. And this is just a nice little Project Life card. A 8.5 by 11 page in an 8 by 10 Project Life page protector. I really need to fix that up. Actually, it's a We Are Memories one, but did some spray mist in the background. Added some stenciling through modeling paste through a stencil. Just some simple layers and a simple cluster with the title down the bottom. I think that looks really nice. So moving on here, added this piece of pattern paper, just two plain layered matting with a little simple border, simple cluster with a border and a cluster up the top. So it doesn't take much, a couple of pieces of pattern paper, enamel dots, and some stickers, words. Don't need much at all. So a 6 by 12 pocket insert. Haven't done barely anything to these ones. Same on the background, just a simple one. Sometimes you just got to get it done. So another 12 by 12 using the Bright Summer collection. And this was a scrap list of someone at the time. I remember they had pattern paper down here with all the embellishments and some photos. And that's exactly what I've done. Good way to use up all those little random summary pieces. This one here, I used this pattern paper and I cut it up and added it to the paper, so there was all these white borders that you can see from the cardstock in between, and I like the way that ended up. Another Project Life spread. This one is one of those different designs. It is a design O apparently. Why is it written backwards? It's written that way, but maybe it goes that way. I was just thinking, but the things are on the side. Yeah, it must be, because they wouldn't be on the back. They should be on the front. Anyway, I'm not fixing that up. It works for us. So that was just nice to fill with some different photos. Some of these 4x6s that I've cut down to 4x4. They look really nice there. And same on this side. Whoa. So it's nice to just keep the colours. So these are plain. It's just letting them shine. Another mixed media page. This one I've painted roughly the green on the back, and then I've used a sea sponge like this to sponge some colours on, and then did some splatters. Added some tissue paper behind this photo collage and a title with the cluster. Not much, but very nice. This one's some mixed media, some watered down paint over top of this pattern paper, and then I use these acetate pieces and a tissue paper and an ephemera pack and this washi to finish the page off. Another one using the same kit, and this actually used the same pattern paper as a background, so that was a nice little inclusion. Added this word and added some scripty writing, and just added brandy strip to base all this cluster on, and the photos are even part of that cluster. Moving over, a nice fun Just Get Messy page that I was like, oh yep, I can turn that into something. So I've just used some colour, some stenciling through a modelling paste, and then splattered everywhere. This is the packaging. So our fish and chips here that we got came in a brown paper bag, and I managed to keep it. It wasn't oily or anything, so I cut off this logo, wrote for dinner, so Morgan's for dinner, added some little stamped images. This one is fun. So this here blue is pattern paper, and this green is some cheesecloth that I've added, and then I've ripped this pattern paper to add to it. Let's put the photo on some vellum with this lovely little cluster. Very simple. The photo is just really lovely. And this is another fun one. I could feel the background, like as I was holding, I was like, oh. But no, this was like grunge heaven. So I've ripped up and squished up this cardstock here in the background, added these layers, and added this logo from the flyer, added the photos of us going towards the Sea Life Aquarium. Just a little cluster down there, and then lots of black ink splatters to grunge it right up. And I ink the edges. A map from the aquarium. And then we go into some Project Life because we have lots of photos. This one is one of those fold outs again. This is fun. Look at that photo. One child knows what's going on. So I just wrote date, who and where. Move it over. Some photo collages of some of the wildlife in the aquarium. Don't necessarily need a whole page of 4x6 photos of these, but I just wanted to include them. My son here has made his own page. Put some spray mist on, put some sequins on, and gave them all tails. So they're fish swimming through the water. And then he's got his photo with some beautiful little sequin trim, a smiley face, and then some journaling. On the 6th of January, we went to Underwater World. It was fun. By Oliver Watts on, let's crossed it out, 5th of the 10th, 2017. On the back, he's done another layout using some other photos from the holiday. Pattern paper, spray mist. He loves mixed media. Some shells, some stickers, title, and journaling. We had fun at the beach, 6th of January. So that's fun. Even his mixed media's gone onto his photo, but it looks pretty cool. Okay, moving on. Some distress oxides in this background. I love this. So I've done some packaging technique, I believe, and some ink splatters, and then I've inked up the edge with the blue. Added some photos. Just one simple photo paper mat. The journaling spot and words. Journaling spot and words. A beautiful bird, just because the colours went so well. And then the title, Summer Goals Thong Tan. Moving on, I used some strips that I've just ripped. I ripped this on a ruler so that they were straight, but then they had the ripped edges. And I've added some ink splatters to the background, and I've just laid them in a design with the photo on top. So that's sweet. Another big, makes it look like a big photo. I was just about to say, oh, it must be like a 5x7, but it's not. It's a 4x6 photo, but there's not some lovely layers going on to make it stand out on the page. Some ink splatters. I have inked up the edge and then bordered it with some pink paper. Added a lovely big title. And just look, 1, 2, 3, 4 little clusters of hearts with a paper clip, and we're done. This was fun. I'm pretty sure I did it. I was aiming for this 8.5 by 11 layout with this spray mist, and then I've added that bleaching technique of spray, like flicking water onto it, and then using paper towel to pull up the colour. I used this stamp that I got in one of my stamp collections, and then I decided I wanted it to sit on top of a 12 by 12. So I bordered it with tissue paper and then put it onto this 12 by 12 cardstock. This way I could add my title this way and tie them in, and then I've also stamped some birds off the page there. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I've forgotten that I'd done that. It's a nice idea. I might have to scrap lift myself. Another one with some pattern paper and just some plain paint on the background. I added a big title. And then this is just a 3 by 4 journaling spot, some washi and a photo and 2 little pineapples because we had visited the big pineapple. We didn't visit, we drove past. Another mixed media background. This one looks like it's distressed oxides. Used some of the bleaching technique. Added some tissue paper and vellum. This is one of those other cards that you can put colour on and pull back the colour off the words. Like a resist, that's the word. Added some ephemera and a title and journaling. We can all see that happens. Another Project Life spread. So just using what we get in the kits. Adding a nice little title here. Little journaling spot. This is a little stamp that I coloured in. Filler card. A acetate pocket over the top of it, or card. Another filler card. This one here. Trying to make sure I'm standing up so I can see what you're seeing because I'm using my phone, but I still have to make sure that I'm doing it right. Little mixed media filler card, because why not? I need some more of these white thickers. They're so nice. Now I love these colours. So this is a nice little pattern paper. Starts with the title with some washi strips, pattern paper and washi. Some lovely thread. I think I'd worked out you could, or I've seen probably Missy Whitten doing that and decided I'd do it too. This is a sketch. Pretty sure this is a Kitaholic sketch. Some tags, a nice big piece of pattern paper with some edges down here and another. I think you were meant to journal on there, but I didn't need to journal. We just visited the Caboolture markets. This one was a fun stencil. So I'd put this 12 by 12 stencil down. I'd spray misted over it so that in an ombre style. So there are 3 colours. And then I inked, splattered over the top once I moved the stencil. Out of these 2 photos and these big resin flowers with just the one little die cut word. And then I ombre'd with my border as well. Not well, but well enough. It's the aim of the game, isn't it? Well enough. Getting to the end. So another little sweet little layout. Just some pattern paper there. Nice little photo layers, all different sizes and heights. Tag and flowers, same with the heights and whatnot. And just the title here. Ink splattered everywhere. This was sweet. A hip kit layout. So just some edges of some layered up paper, and I did an angled, 2 lines of angled and then some straight lines. Sure used up these enamel shapes and these cork shapes, some flair and some wood veneer, and even a wood veneer title. And just to finish the whole album off, we got a simple 6 by 12 layout, and this is me returning. We'd obviously gone to Brisbane to Redcliffe. Oh, well, maybe it's not obvious. And I returned to go back to work, and my boys came home with my dad. They drove home. And then just a few different pieces. So this is back home. And then the next album, volume 2, goes into normal everyday back to work life. So hopefully, oh, I missed that totally. So hopefully that was interesting and a bit of an inspiration. It was for me, so that's pretty cool. And hopefully you like to include things like ephemera and all bit sorts of different pieces, some Project Life, some 12 by 12 mixed media, using some ephemera on your pages. So that's not even a photo on that page. And this gets you scrapping and filling up your albums. So I will talk to you in next video. Bye guys.